10 years ago at this meeting, we honored the 5 cornerstone founders of ABI: Harry Dixon, Ed Creel, Dick Gitlin, Judge Bill Norton, and Bob Fiedler, leaders from the 1980s through the mid-90s. Today, we salute 4 more leaders from the mid-90s through 2000 with our highest honor, the ABI Lifetime Achievement Award. Those 4 people are Robin Phelan, Bob Zinman, Bob Fishman, and Ford Elsesser. Robin Phelan was among ABI's earliest leaders and a member since 1983. Robin was the editor of ABI's first newsletter. He testified before Congress several times for ABI and also before the National Bankruptcy Review Commission, one of the few occasions where he was seen wearing a tie. A prolific author and conference presenter, Robin was legendary for his many colorful hats and props that livened up CLE panels. At least one event where we also had a United States Supreme Court justice to the program, his toy gun attracted unwanted attention from the U.S. Marshals. Robin was the last president of ABI to serve for 2 years, from 1994 to 1996, and during his time, ABI's membership surpassed 5,000 with a retention rate of 85%. Robin's tenure also marked ABI's early entry into the internet age with our first page on what was then called the World Wide Web. Even after a successful term as president, Robin would serve 2 more years on the board of directors. As many of you know, Robin has had some health issues and isn't able to travel these days, but even though we miss him, we are happy to learn that he is improving all the time back in Dallas, and he joins us today by video.
I'm obviously very happy to receive this award from the American Bankruptcy Institute. I've been involved with the American Bankruptcy Institute since it was started by Harry Dixon many years ago. It's afforded me not only many professional opportunities, but also the opportunity to hang around with the wonderful people here on this stage and hundreds of other people that I've come to know. I'd also like to thank Sam Giordano, the best executive director in the entire world, who has guided this organization for a long time. Finally, I'd like to leave you with the words of my favorite Mexican wrestler, El Borco, the king of Lucha Libre, a man of wisdom but few words. Muchas gracias.
We look forward to presenting Robin with his Lifetime Achievement Award in person at a local event in Dallas. Bob Zinman, who is here with us, has been involved in ABI for more than 30 years, much of that time while a professor at the St. John's University School of Law. He served on the board from 1991, where he created both the ABI Law Review and the Duberstein Moot Court Competition. Remarkably, the first issue of the Law Review was cited in a Supreme Court opinion on single asset cases. The Duberstein competition has become one of the largest and best-run moot court competitions with an international reputation. As president from 1996 to 1997, he presided over an important governance transition that has served us well as we stand today. To honor Bob's commitment to both ABI and the best in scholarship, we named the Resident Scholar Program the Robert M. Zinman Resident Scholar. Well after his retirement from full-time teaching, Bob has been a fixture at ABI events, usually with his wife Marion, and we are happy he can be here today to receive the Lifetime Achievement Award. Bob Fishman joined the ABI in 1986 as a young bankruptcy lawyer in Chicago. Bob became very active in CLE programs, serving as the chair of the Programs and Seminars Committee, and later as our first Vice President of Education during a time of great expansion for the organization. He helped create ABI's first educational programs in the Northeast, Southeast, Southwest and Rocky Mountains, among others, programs that have thrived for nearly a quarter of a century. Bob created innovating teaching formats which we still use and others try to mimic, like hollow square room sets and the great debates. During Bob's tenure as president in 1998, we passed 6,000 members, while the ABI Journal became the four-color publication we continue to enjoy. And our endowment fund completed its first ever empirical study on the concept of means testing in Chapter 7, if only Congress had followed the facts. Bob continues to be an active member and valued member of our past presidents group, and we are honored to present him with a Lifetime Achievement Award. Ford Elsesser also joined ABI in 1986, and like Bob, he was involved in programs and seminars, continuing the rapid growth. He created the Northwest Bankruptcy Conference, and as our first vice president of membership, helped grow ABI with smaller and mid-sized firms. Ford became our first member to argue a case before the Supreme Court, and he won, and he also testified before Congress on areas of consumer law. In 1999, he became ABI's first president from the far west, and North Idaho is pretty far out. Our membership passed 7,000 with a renewal rate of 90%, and for more than 20 years, Ford has coached the Idaho Law School team in the Duberstein competition, and one year they even won it. Like Bob and our other past presidents, Ford attends this meeting and the Winter Leadership Conference some 15 years after his board service has ended. Ford, thanks for your service, and please accept this Lifetime Achievement Award.
Wow, must be two and a quarter million. Deborah Williamson received one of these. There's only about 1 million people. Seriously, my colleagues and Robin deserve a lot more credit for many of the things that all of you have the opportunity to take for granted. But there's one area where I will take exclusive credit for. I'm the person who taught Sam Giordano that bears do not have opposable thumbs, and therefore are incapable of opening your rental car door either for carjacking or dining purposes. And so after leaving Idaho and later joining Bob Keach in Maine, bears were no longer a threat to our executive director. The ABI, everyone I think here knows that, like everyone else up here, I bleed ABI green. The ABI is my family. At the Supreme Court argument I was blessed to be able to make, we actually had a cheering section of ABI staff. The bank's lawyers didn't. But the ABI has been our family. We've traveled together. We've watched our kids grow up together and have kids of their own. We've known the staff. We've gone to each other's kids' weddings, and our calendar every year revolves around when is the winter meeting, when's the annual meeting, when is the Duberstein competition, when am I teaching at the LLM program that Bob, of course, founded. And that's still the case as much today as it was 20 or 25 or 30 years ago. And I love this organization. It's the one and only organization of its kind where truly anyone from any level of practice that loves bankruptcy and loves networking with other people who also love bankruptcy can do absolutely anything they want and persevere and get it done. I think Bob Fishman would agree with me. Robin and Bob Zinman really are truly, like the other people honored 10 years ago, two of the founding fathers or not fathers, members, if that's offensive. These two theys are among the founding theys. And Robin, I'm pleased to say he and I were among the very first to bring spouses and children. If you look in our photographer, who's also still the same, archive, you will see his 2-year-old and our 3-year-old playing together at the one of the early Capitol Hill conferences. And Robin really raised the profile of the ABI to a whole new level. Bob Zinman, as already mentioned, founded the Law Review, and along with our late beloved Connie Duberstein, founded the Duberstein Competition and the LLM program that I've been blessed to participate on for, I think, 13, 14 years now. Other than that, he really hasn't done much for the organization. But anyway, I love this. I love the staff. I love all the people that all of us have gotten to know over the years, and I'll be back. Thank you.
Well, nothing makes Sam crazier than when the trains don't run on time. So our 2 or 3 minutes is probably going to go slightly past that. I can remember many years ago sitting in the audience at an ABI conference. There were maybe 50 of us attending the entire conference, and Alex Pasquet was the vice president of membership, and Alex was cheering us on to get out and help generate new members. He said, if we work really hard at this, we can get membership up to 1,000 people. We now have 1,000 people attending a conference. So that's a metamorphosis that I witnessed from a bunch of us sitting in one big room with chairs and circles in the four corners having simultaneous committee meetings to the extravaganzas that we've now all gotten used to. It was an amazing journey. It is certainly my honor and privilege to be recognized with Ford and Bob and Robin. These guys have done so much for the ABI and are responsible for so many of the great things that now just seem to be ordinary course at this organization. ABI has always meant hard work to me. It's always meant service to the community, to your fellow professionals. ABI is a place of great ideas, and very importantly, ABI is a place of commitment. In a volunteer organization, one of the keys to success is your volunteers make commitments, your volunteers fulfill their commitments. When volunteers are relied on to do things and they don't fulfill them, then it's a difficult task. And I think one of the things that leads to great success at the ABI is raise your hand, say you'll do something, and then go out and do it. As far as commitment goes, I probably don't have very many records, but I might have one. It occurs to me as I think back over the years since 1986 when I joined, I believe that I have never missed an annual or spring meeting, which means this is my 63rd consecutive meeting. And I don't think anybody else has done that. And I get to some point that streak is going to have to come to an end, but I have to say, I still look forward to it every time. I still am excited to be here every time, and this is no exception. Over the years, Deborah Williamson and I have talked about how the most important thing that the ABI has done for us and for many others is give us many of the best friends we're ever going to have in our whole lives. And with these guys up here, with Robin and with some of the people in the audience, with some of the staff people, these are people who I count amongst my closest friends. And this organization has delivered that to me. And I'm not sure it has done anything more valuable for me than that. Although I would add that ABI is certainly the most significant boost to my professional career of anything that I've been involved in or done. It is clearly the gift that keeps on giving. And if you give to it, it will give to you. And I think that relates back to the idea of service. If you come and you do things for the benefit of doing them, instead of for the benefit of what it might confer on you, what you'll discover is it will confer things on you. You just don't have to make it be about that. That will flow naturally from the commitment that you make and the service that you provide. I really owe a lot to ABI. I couldn't begin to thank all the people, and so I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to say that it's the most wonderful organization I've ever been associated with. It's brought me some of the best times in my life, and I issue a challenge to each one of you. Take that same path and enjoy the great benefits that it can provide to you. This is a place where you can make your mark if you want to. Thank you very much.
Now that the filibuster has been abolished in Congress, I'll be very short. I just want to say thank you very, very much. This award is very meaningful to me. And I also would like to say, pardon my cold, I would like to say thank you to all of you, to the ABI, to all the volunteers, to the wonderful staff, to Sam Giordano, for all that you do day in and day out to help in the proper administration of the bankruptcy laws of the United States. Thank you very much.